Hi dear viewers and chupacabras. Yeah, now you wonder. Today I will share with you things that I believe are helpful for your first solo trip. To make this video more interactive, I actually asked people I know what they like about solo traveling.
Hi everyone, this is Carlos from Colombia. How can I say about traveling solo? This is just life-changing for me. That's how I got to meet some of my best friends that nowadays are just anywhere in the world. But what I love the most about that is that the fact of being by yourself, just talk to people and make new connections that otherwise might not happen. So I think just everybody have to have this experience at least once in their lives, because it's just when the magic happens.
For me, the best thing about traveling alone is probably the freedom. You can just wander around the place and don't worry about anyone else, just yourself. I think it boosts your mind, your spirit, your self-confidence. You just become more independent because you can only rely on yourself. I just think it's great and I love it. So you should do it too. So don't worry and safe travels. Bye!
Well, I think there are several different advantages about traveling solo. First and foremost, we have to accept that it is going to be a challenge, but it is a good challenge. It's a good challenge in a good way. It takes you out of your comfort zone, which is great. Secondly, it's going to be an opportunity for you to find yourself, for you to grow personally and gain lots of experience and new knowledge about yourself. You can use different tools and websites, for example, couchsurfing, which allow you to connect with people in a more deep way. It really makes the experience something else. I think places are great, but what really makes them amazing and unforgettable are the people in those places. And when you get to connect with them, that's when the journey and the travel becomes 10 times better.
In my opinion, the first reason why traveling alone is the best is because you can plan your own time. You don't have to be considerate of others. You can go where you want to go and when you have to go. The second reason is that it's a better way how to meet new people. For example, couchsurfing, if you're traveling alone, you can meet very nice people, and it's different when you are traveling with a travel agency, for example, in a tourist group.
So why do I like traveling alone? Because it's nice. You have total freedom to go anywhere you want, as much as you like. Or if you want to try something really cool, try hitchhiking, because you never know where you will end up or with whom.
Hi guys and bees! My name is Ansku and I'm gonna tell you why I'm so passionate about solo traveling. The first reason is a freedom. I really love to sketch from my trips. If your partner or friend doesn't like this kind of wasting time, it's gonna be annoying. Second reason is that I really love art museums, so if I like some masterpieces, I just can slow down, sit down and just enjoy. If you are with someone, you can see the annoying faces, waiting faces. Yes, it's annoying. If we speak about food, I don't really want to waste time for searching a good place, so I can decide what I really like and how long I would like to stay. So, if you are considering solo traveling, I highly recommend. Please do it. Maybe you don't like it, but okay, so you have tried it.
Hi! Find out your weak and strong things traveling. I already made a video about pros and cons of solo traveling. Check that out if you didn't yet. All those things are based on my experience, but I believe if you're going on your first ever solo trip, these might be a good things to know. First thing I want to talk about is picking a right place. If you have really big issues going on your first solo trip, like you're really scared, maybe you can start on a smaller scale. Go to the nearest city. Maybe after that you can go from new city to another new city. And maybe after that you can go to the nearest country. And maybe after 1 year you will be traveling all over Asia, who knows? If you don't have bigger issues on starting your first solo trip, of course you can go to travel all the Asia right away, why not? But in any case, I believe that the first destination should be a safe one. Because there are places in the world where traveling solo might not be the best option, at least not if it's your first trip. Second thing I would do before my first solo trip, and actually I did, is Googling and preparing. Again, if you have bigger issues starting your trip, you have a lot of fears, think through in advance what can happen to you. Somebody can steal your wallet, you can get into incident, you might feel lonely. You can prepare for all these things. You can Google the embassy where you go if your passport is stolen. You can make yourself insurance. You can give your coordinates to people you know so that they know where are you going and staying. You can check the map in advance, mark on your phone the most important places. You can try to use a map around your house just to have some experience with that if you're really bad at it. There are many things you can do just for your own comfort, so why not doing them? In the end, the most things that we fear that can happen to us on a trip are those same things that can happen to you in your everyday life. If you don't have any major fears and issues, I will still do some Googling and prepare myself for basics, like finding a way from one place to another and how to get there. Write it even down if you need it. On my experience, it saves you time, money, and makes you just more confident going on your trip. Tip number 3 and my favorite one. Do not avoid and be afraid meeting people. Okay, you can be afraid, but do not avoid meeting people. Usually when you travel alone, you are more open to new people than when you already have a company. And that is a beautiful thing. If you're going to any public events, concerts, festivals, movies, I don't know, anywhere where you can meet people, why not doing that? Especially locals. They will make your experience much more authentic. Don't know where to start, you can use couch surfing. You probably heard about couch surfing as being a site where people offer their couches for other people for free. But besides that, there is another option. In couch surfing, you can also just go with tourists to show them your city. You can just leave a request that you are first time at this city and you are alone and you really would like somebody to show you the city. It's usually a very nice experience. You see the place from the local perspective. You don't feel that much as a tourist. Locals can show you places that you would never see otherwise. And of course this is totally for free, so you will not lose anything. And if you don't like that person, you don't need to meet him or her again. Only pluses, not minuses. Wait, was this number 4? Yeah, number 4. Trust yourself. Okay, I know this might include some therapy, but in any case, I think personally that this is important. When you trust yourself, you know that you will not leave yourself in any bad situation, that you will find solutions in many cases. Confidence is a bit another thing, and this is something that might develop while you travel, or even because you travel alone. But trust is something I believe you need to have. And tip number 5. My last tip is to make a first step, and this might be tricky. It's like when you know you want to go to gym, but it's just too hard to physically bring yourself there. But after you do that, you plan your whole next week going to gym like every day because you really like that. So it's just this first step that's hard to make. And same can be with traveling. Sometimes I just buy a ticket from Vienna to Prague, and now I just have to be in Vienna at that day. I don't have other choice now. It sounds crazy, but it works for me. And what if it will work for you also? If you just make that first step and buy that flight or trip somewhere, then you just won't have other choice than to survive there. These were all the tips I came up with about solo traveling. I hope you will do that because it's honestly my favorite way of traveling. Many people I know who did not like this or believed they didn't like this in the beginning, they just love it after they did it for the first time. And in the end, if you never try, you never know if that's your thing or not. Good luck with your trips, solo, company, any kind of, everywhere you wanna go. Thanks for watching and stay curious. Bye!
The best ways to travel, you have total freedom of. So why do I like solo traveling?
Weak and strong sides traveling alone. Find out your
But trust is something I believe you need to have. Yeah, I don't know how you get it. Now deal with it. So good luck with everything. Not with killing people though. Yeah, not like with everything.